जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotra Shata Sri Sri His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brunda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Welcome all to today's Bhagavatam session at Iskanathapur. Welcome all guests, Vaishnavas, please, to Iskanathapur. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayesh Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishnikim Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankaja Navaya Namah Pankaja Malini Namah Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavatam session today, this morning and Tuesday. Right now the discussion is happening on this Canto 2 and Chapter 5, and today discussion is Text 10. So Canto 2 is describing about the cosmic manifestation, and Chapter 5 describes the cause of all causes. Today's text basically describing unless until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me. That is, Brahma is discussing with Narada. One is sure to be illusioned by observing Brahma, that observing me, my powerful activities. This is what Brahma is discussing with Narada. We'll get into this sloka is really essence of this particular chapter, the cause of all causes. Sarva Karana Karanam. So this is where Brahma is describes. Let us recite the sloka, today's sloka. नानृतं तव तच्चापि यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे नानृतं तव तच्चापि यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे नानृतं तव तच्चापि यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे नानृतं तव तच्चापि यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे. Yeah, you can recite. नानृतं तव तच्चापि
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
अविज्ञाय परमता
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे नानृतं तव तच्चापि
मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे
एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे नानृतं तव तच्चापि यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो अज्ञाय परं मत्ता एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे
नानुतं तव तच्चापि
नानृतं तव तच्चापि
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे
एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे
नानृत तव तच्चापि
नानृतं तव तच्चापि
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
एतावत् यतो हि मे
एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे. प्रभु नानृतं तव तच्चापि यथा मां प्रब्रवीषि भो
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे
एतावत्त्वं यतो हि मे. Mataji's, anybody? Let us go to synonyms. Na, not. Anartham, false. Tava, of yours. Tat, that. Cha, also. Api, as you have stated. Yatha, in the matter of. Mam, of myself. Prabhavisi, as you describe. Bho, O my son. Avijñāya, without knowing. Param, the supreme. Mattaha, beyond myself. Etavat, all that you have spoken. Tvam, yourself. Yataha, for the reason of. he certainly, me, about me. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Whatever you have spoken about me is not false, because unless until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities. Can you repeat after me? Whatever you have spoken about me is not false, because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities. Purport is a long purport. Let's try to read. The frog in the well, the purport written by Prabhupada. The frog in the well, logic illustrates that a frog residing in the atmosphere and boundary of a well cannot imagine the length and breadth of the gigantic ocean. Such a frog, when informed of the gigantic length and breadth of the ocean, first of all does not believe that there is such an ocean. And if someone assures him that factually there is such a thing, the frog then begins to measure it by imagination by means of pumping its belly as far as possible. With the result of that, the tiny abdomen of the frog bursts and the poor frog dies without any experience of the actual ocean. Similarly, the material scientists also want to challenge the inconceivable potency of the Lord by measuring him with their frog-like brains and their scientific achievements. But at the end, they simply die unsuccessfully, like the frog. Sometimes, a materially powerful man is accepted as God or the incarnation of God without any knowledge of the factual God. Such a material assessment may be gradually extended, and the attempt may reach to the highest limit of Brahmaji, who is the topmost living being within the universe and has a duration of life unimaginable to the material scientist. As we get information from the most authentic book of knowledge, the Bhagavad Gita 8.17, Brahmaji's one day and night is calculated to be some hundreds and thousands of years on our planet. This long duration of life may not be believed by the frog in the well, but persons who have a realization of the truth mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita accept the existence of a great personality who creates the variegatedness of the complete universe. It is understood from the revealed scriptures that the Brahmaji of this universe is younger than all the other Brahmajis in charge of the many, many universes beyond this. But none of them can be equal to the personality of Godhead. Naraji is one of the liberated souls, and after his liberation he was known as Narada. Otherwise, before his liberation he was simply a son of a maid servant. The questions may be asked why Naraji was not aware of the Supreme Lord and why he misconceived Brahmaji to be the Supreme Lord, although factually he was not. A liberated soul is never bewildered by such a mistaken idea. So why did Naraji ask all those questions just like an ordinary man with a pure fund of knowledge? There was such bewilderment in Arjuna also, although he is eternally the associate of the Lord. Such bewilderment in Arjuna or in Narada takes place by the will of the Lord, so that other non-liberated persons may realize the real truth and knowledge of the Lord. The doubt arising in the mind of Narada about Brahmaji's becoming all-powerful is a lesson for the frogs in the well, that they may not be bewildered in misconceiving the identity of the personality of Godhead, even by comparison to a personality like Brahma. So what to speak of ordinary men who falsely pose themselves as God or an incarnation of God. The Supreme Lord is always the Supreme. And as we have tried to establish many times in these purports, no living being, even up to the standard of Brahma, can claim to be one with the Lord. One should not be misled when people worship a great man as God after his death as a matter of hero worship. There were many kings like Lord Ramachandra, the king of Ayodhya, but none of them are mentioned as God in the revealed scriptures. To be a good king is not necessarily the qualification for being Lord Rama, but to be a great personality like Krishna is the qualification for being the personality of Godhead. If we scrutinize the characters who took part in the battle of Kurukshetra, we may find that Maharaja Yudhishthira was no less pious king than Lord Ramchandra. And by character study, Maharaja Yudhishthira was a better moralist than Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna asked Maharaja Yudhishthira to lie, but Maharaja Yudhishthira protested. But that does not mean that Maharaja Yudhishthira could be equal to Lord Ramachandra or Lord Krishna. The great authorities have estimated Maharaja Yudhishthira to be a pious man, but they have accepted Lord Rama or Krishna as the personality of Godhead. The Lord is therefore a different identity in all circumstances, and no idea of anthropomorphism can be applied to him. The Lord is always the Lord, and a common living being can never be equal to him. Om Agnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sovadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunadanutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagana Lalita Sri Visakanitamsa Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rushabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all once again to ISKCON Attapur for Bhagavatam session. I seek all your blessings, all senior Vaishnavas sitting here. Just I'm having a small tiny brain trying to learn things which is given by Srila Prabhupada. I try to read, present as it is, as Prabhupada has given our senior Vaishnavas, which they have given through their books or maybe videos and audio. I try to repeat, and please bless me so that this instrument can speak something. If anything wrong happen, it is because of me. If anything happens good, it is all coming from the Vaishnavas. So here the discussion which you have seen, Canto 2, we're talking about the creation, which you have reached only a few cantos, and Canto 2 and chapters are going on. So different chapters talking about the Canto 2, the cosmic manifestation which we are discussing, and we already gone through the first step in God realization, then Lord in the heart, pure devotional service, the change in heart, the process of creation. Right now we are discussing the cause of all causes, So each chapter are different slokas. So right now we are discussing Canto 2 and 5th chapter and 10th verse we are discussing. So far if you go through the recap discussion, actually Narada is asking some questions to Brahmaji, So while asking questions, he is also praising Brahmaji. So So he was mentioning like, like Brahmaji, he is the supreme, the way he is different. I'm not going to details. So the way Naradaji addressed Brahmaji, saying that he is the supreme because he is not seen the real supreme. So here in 10th verse, we're discussing about, then Brahmaji answers all these things, whatever Narada has raised, all these questions. So basically, because Narada is more of praising Brahmaji, then even in the material life also, we can see so many people keep praising us also. Everyone wants to praise, We also feel so happy, someone praises, oh, we are good. So many things, like, materially things, some people really possess. Some people don't possess, even then someone try to, glorify, People feel very happy, Only after coming here, ISKCON, we are, because of Prabhupada's teaching, we are trying to see, these are, all these material, prizes, it doesn't stand, compare with the spiritual platform. Spiritual platform is very high, These material things, even though so great people, they all have to die one day, It's all temporary, temporary, So all these happiness, sorrow, even all the possessions, they're all temporary. So here, Brahmaji answers, to Narada's question. Then Narada said, Brahmaji said, thank you to Narada. Then Narada asked, why are you thanking me? Yeah, because you have praised me. But actual case is, Sri Radha Madhava ki jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki jai, Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, then when Brahma says thank you to Narada, Narada says, why you are saying thanks? Because then Brahmaji says, you are asking such questions, and also you are praising me, which is natural, because you have not seen the real truth, because you have not seen the God. So that is why any activities one is doing, one feels, oh, he is the supreme, So it happens. Even Brahma also have bewildered once, when Krishna was sharing the, eating the lunch with his cowboy friends and all, Brahma felt, no, why such a boy, eating the, juta, someone's food from someone's mouth is stealing and eating. So Brahma himself, he bewildered, Right now Brahma is telling to Narada, I am not the supreme, there is someone else, he is the supreme. And why he is again telling, the thanks why he said is, though you are asking questions and praising me in a way, but you have given me opportunity so that I can speak about Krishna. So now Narada has given an opportunity to Brahmaji so that Brahma can speak about, can glorify Krishna. The actually Vaishnavas feel happy in glorifying Krishna, Supreme Lord. If you see, like Prabhupada, how much he glorify, anything like Narada is asking questions to Brahma. Similarly, so many devotees, so many people, ask questions to Prabhupada. Time to time, you have seen so many, you can see questions, like there is a book also, about Prabhupada, all the devotees, disciples, what sort of questions they asked, how Prabhupada answered. And also we can hear all these also from so many Vaishnavas and Prabhupada's disciples also, whenever they glorify during Vyasa Puja or during other classes, we can keep hearing from them, So those things we have opportunity to hear, how Prabhupada, any question anybody raises, Prabhupada connects everything with Krishna only, Ultimately, everything comes to Krishna. He praises Krishna only, nothing else. Even in fact, he doesn't even take any credit, Either he gives it to his guru or Krishna, Like anytime his disciples praises Prabhupada, Prabhupada simply says, I'm nothing. I don't have anything. Whatever little bit I have is only I am trying to speak what my Guru has given me or what my Guru has ordered me. So simply I am following my Guru's orders. Okay. So only that one I am doing. So that is what Prabhupada always mentions. So that way, anything, sometimes we feel irrelevant topics also, Prabhupada takes to back to connect to Krishna, Once in America, what happened is, some disciples came and asked, Prabhupada, someone wanted you to give a class. Prabhupada asked, what is that? They said, they wanted you to speak on vegetarianism. Then Prabhupada said, even monkeys are vegetarian. What is there to speak? Do they want to listen about Krishna? He said, no. If they don't want to listen about Krishna, no need to have a class with them, because monkeys are also vegetarians. So that way Prabhupada always try to do anything or connect with Krishna only. So he always takes to highway, Sometimes I also feel like, we, from our house and come here very close, 3 kilometers. So we have also one flyover, PV Narasimha Rao Express Highway. When I come out from my house to the main road, I can get onto the highway to airport. Maybe other side I can come to the Krishna's highway to ISKCON Attapur, So because Prabhupada always connect us to highways. So we have opportunity to, get connected to highway, the Prabhupada, the way things have given the processes which are all in a real highway to Krishna's highway, So always only Krishna is there in that. So like that, so Prabhupada and all these senior Vaishnavas, whatever they do, they will be talking about Krishna only. So that is how they will enjoy talking about this one, because they don't want anything, even the credit or any sort of things, Once what happened is, in Prayag, there is Kumbh Mela used to happen, Every 12 years it comes, right? So Kumbh Mela. Once Prabhupada disciples wanted, there in Kumbh Mela, like many of the gurus, they go by, give over elephant. They will sit and they will take them, around that all the places on the elephant. They said, they also proposed to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, we also want to take you on an elephant in the Kumbh Mela. Prabhupada said, no, we will take Krishna and Radha Madhav on elephant, not me. So that way, Prabhupada, anything, wants to give to the, offer things to Krishna only, not for himself, While other gurus and all sitting on elephant and enjoying, the Mela, Kumbh Mela, seeing all the things, they feel proud, I am also like Supreme Lord. But Prabhupada never did like that, So he wants to give all the things to only to praise Krishna only. So that way he wants to give Krishna to us. Then Brahma said, yes, Narada, what you are speaking is true, because it appears that I am the Supreme Lord, because you have not seen the real Supreme Lord. So as we said, in this material world also, everybody thinks he's great. Prabhupada here writes frog in the well. We have seen in the purport, frog in the well. In this material world also, like it is also well actually, material world. Like when frog is living in this small well, we are also living in this material well, because Prabhupada describes this is material world is 1/3 of a spiritual world, Spiritual world is 3 times bigger than this, In fact, we have not even explored the total material world yet, Scientists are struggling to find out what is the length and breadth of this universe, Every day they come with a new theory, and they say this universe is ever increasing, So they are not able to reach the end of this material universe, So they say, I don't know, they bring so many instruments, they measure, I know, are they measuring rightly? Nobody knows, So how can you measure, So they're trying to measure. See, if you take a scale, you can measure here this 1 centimeter or 1 meter, 10 meters or 10 kilometers. There are things beyond that. I don't know how these meters will work there or not, nobody knows. How that even within the material world also, how it looks like, Though our Bhagavatam and etc. given, what is the size of these universes and different planets, what is the distance between them, they have mentioned in yojanas, So we try to convert yojanas into miles, kilometers, trying to, that is only again our own conversion, So are we really understanding yojanas, So someone says something, and how you are converting, there is an error also. When you convert, conversion error will be there, When you change one units to other unit, there is always an error, Even when you say something to someone, that person, when he is telling to others, he can say differently, He will understand. See what? Suppose some A speaks something, B hears, What he understands from what A is telling, he will understand based on his knowledge, only that much, And he will try to tell others what he listened. And how much he knows, again, some C listens. They can see how much level he is, by the time it goes, when, at the information reaches to somewhere else, is totally contradictory, what he says. And also some places, something is, you refer something, it will be nice, but in some other place, same thing, like differently. There was someone was mentioning, I don't remember, some country, suppose, people, they eat a lot of bread, right? The bread, there is an outskirt, there is something, is a hard material, So in that country, they generally don't eat that outside one. They remove that one, and some people remove that and eat only soft one inside one. You can see the bread, the outside thing. But someone is someone married, some other country's lady. She wanted with love. She has removed that one and given. And the person who is the other country, other way. They eat outside thing, they don't eat the center soft one. So he felt she's removed out one, given very with lovingly given the center one with the soft one, my husband will like it. But other way, because he felt very embarrassed, she has given me thing which is generally they don't do it. So like that, the information also distorts, deviates from what we say. That is why even the Shastras, what have given us also, many people misinterpret also, forget about understanding, it will misinterpret. That is how, like in Shastras, that people bring the contradictories only. Okay. So that way, the information, the whatever little information we have, with that Prabhupada writes, that is why these scientists are very proud of this information, and they feel they are gods. They invent some little bit, and from that, you can rule the whole world. So whatever inventions, things which you have bought it, is very small, nominal, very little only. Like that. That is how Brahma is mentioning. So telling to Narada, so don't be like a frog in the well. And sometimes Prabhupada also writes, if you don't know the truth, better not to speak, So the way Prabhupada always mentions the whatever things like the teaching, especially these teachers, they don't know 100%. They try to teach the science. So Prabhupada says it is a cheating. Whatever teaching present day people are doing, they are like a cheating, because you don't know full information and try to teach, So let us try to, whatever mentioned in things, like for example, how much we understand from Bhagavatam. If you say, Bhagavatam is having how many? 18,000 slokas, right? So the same 18,000 slokas was recited by Sukadeva Goswami to Pariksit Maharaj. If you see how many slokas like that, so like earlier used to have a only sloka. So whenever suppose Krishna spoke 700 slokas to Arjuna in battlefield, he understood only sloka. No need to explain what is the meaning of translation, synonyms, purports, not required, not there. Simply. These all came later because we are not able to understand what is the sloka saying, right? So that is why you have to translate into its meaning. Then another is we don't understand Sanskrit. That is why you have to write in our language. Now I know only Telugu, so it has to be written in Telugu. Someone knows Hindi, it will be Hindi. Then, then Malayalam, Kannada, Italian, so many languages. That is why we have books in so many languages. So as I mentioned earlier, when you translate also, there is an errors, misinterpretation. So like this, even if you try to understand all these slokas, so 18,000 slokas, when you are, one day how many slokas? As per this one, 2,571 slokas. You don't even understand one sloka fully when you go through this one, So in 1 hour, how much? 107 slokas is recited, almost per minute, almost 1.1 to 2 slokas close to, per minute. So that he has to recite and he has to understand, he has to respond, he will understand, he will give a questions, like that. Recently we went to Ujjain, there one Mataji came, Daiva Shakti Mataji once mentioning, I don't know from where she is referring, he says, if you really want to understand Bhagavatam sloka, we have to study one sloka per 1 month. It takes 1 month to understand to one sloka to study it fully, Like that if you take 1 month for one sloka, I just calculated, you see how many slokas you can do. All 18,000 slokas if you want to understand, it takes 1,500 years. So how many years we have, So it is very, impossible thing. So how much knowledge that way we can get it. So that is why, even if you try to read on our own, we can never reach. That is why Acharyas like Srila Prabhupada has come and given us, he has given the essence of Bhagavatam to us, If you take his words directly and follow his instructions, we can easily understand. We can go to the, proper path. So here Brahmaji is telling to Narada, I am not the Supreme Lord. There is another Supreme Lord, Krishna. So Brahma has written in Brahma Samhita, right? What is that? Ishvaraha Parama Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. Anyone want to recite? Anyone wants to recite? So Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin. And he is the prime cause of all causes. So this is what Brahma has mentioned in this way, in the Brahma Samhita. Like in material world, people imagine things, Yesterday I was hearing one video, Prabhu was mentioning, and he is referring, I don't know which Maharaj he heard. So the Maharaj was mentioning, like people, when they get married, they think, imagine, they will, oh, I'm going to get married, I'll get nice wife, I'll have nice life, then I'll have nice, I'm already having nice job, I have car, this one, like that. Oh, he will be thinking of so many things, both soch lega, soch ki, he will design his own thing, right, So पहले ऐसा लगेगा कि बीवी चंद्रमुखी, चंद्रमुखी जैसा होगा. तो कुछ महीनों के बाद पता चलेगा अभी चंद्रमुखी नहीं, सूर्यमुखी बोला. अरे सूर्यमुखी हो गया, चलेगा कुछ साल द्वारे के बाद बोलेगा ज्वालामुखी जैसा लगेगा. तो ऐसा अदर साइड भी हो सकता है, नॉट ओनली Prabhu's think that she may be like become like that, other side people also may be thinking पहले मेरा husband ऐसा होता है, अभी पता चला है क्या ऐसा. तो इमेजिनेशन में हम कुछ भी सोच लेते हैं, बाद में रियलिटीज पता चलेगा. इवन नॉट एवरी रिलेशन में ऐसा है, पहले पहले ऐसा ऐसा सोच के भी इसीलिए करते हैं. So Prabhupada always mentioned about the anything in this material world, he always refers to asses, to donkey. He refers that because donkey works so hard, इतना काम करता है, इतना so much hard work. It doesn't know why it is working, It works so much hard work, So धोबी का इतना कपड़ा ले जाता है, so much, clothes it carry, so burden, heavy burden. So sometimes our Guru Maharaj says, so donkey carries so much load in that, उसमें खुद का कपड़ा नहीं उसमें ऐसा बोलते हैं. So it doesn't have its own clothes in that, it carries others' clothes, So Prabhupada also says, it can eat grass available everywhere, and it is thinking that, his master only giving the grass, Actually, master, he has to cut the grass from somewhere else only he gives, Otherwise, grass is available everywhere, The donkey can go and eat grass. So he refers like that example and tells to this whole world also working like, taking example as donkey. Nobody knows why they are working, we are working. कोई job में चले जाता है, you don't like the job, but still we will work, Why? He gives, that is the reference, donkey ka reference only, So these scientists also like that, they are working because they will say, मेरा duty है, हम ultimately Bhagavad Gita का श्लोका लेके, then everyone refers, connect to that, it is my duty, to work. So without knowing the direction. So that way at least devotees, they know even though they are working, so they will, they will connect everything to Krishna. So they will connect to Krishna. So whatever they earn, they will utilize that money in utilizing the service of Krishna by arranging programs at a house, Bhakti Ruksha classes, etc. So otherwise in the material world simply it will be like a frog in the well. So simply like frog in the So to come out of that material well, so one has to have a connect with a guru. One has to guru. Prabhupada then refers to that, You need to have a spiritual guru. Not that so many people have guru. People outside UP में think they call guru. सबका guru बोलते हैं ना UP में, पान वालों को भी guru बोलते हैं. Guru कैसे हो ऐसा बोलते हैं, कौन सा guru, But you need to have the spiritual guru who can guide us, spiritual path. So for which Prabhupada always quotes Bhagavatam 11.3.21. Tasmad gurum prapadyate jijnasu shreya uttamam shabde parecha nisnatam brahmanya upa samsarjata. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master. Real happiness. If you want to have a real happiness, you need to find a spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. So one need to have to the spiritual master, So that is the spiritual knowledge. Otherwise, just simply, living in this material knowledge, is of no use. The temporary happiness, and distresses, with that one is getting, stuck in that, simply trying to little flickering happiness, try to give out the, the so-called distresses. But they are bound to come in this material world. That is the nature of this material world. That is what Prabhupada in everywhere he quotes. So if that is why we have to know truth, reality. Once what happened, I think Delhi, one of my friend was telling, he went to one office, so he wanted to meet one officer, some PF problem or something, EPS, some problem is there. That office told, okay, tomorrow morning you come, I will come early morning, 8 o'clock, you come office, we'll meet and we'll solve your problem. So then my friend said he went to the office, so he was waiting. Suddenly someone came in the coat and all that. So yeah, must be the officer must have come. He was waiting, so he said namaste, and yeah, he said namaste. The other one went inside, and then he came back with a broom, and that fellow was sweeping the floor. Actually, his office boy come in a winter coat and all that. So because we don't know, someone who is really, who is who. When you don't know who is who, will consider himself like that, Brahmaji, like Narada felt Brahma is the Supreme Lord, Similarly, same thing happens with us also, without knowing who is who. So we will consider. So that is why we need to have a guru who will tell us, who is the real God. Unlike present day, there are so many false gurus also there. They are also taking this so-called, devotees to wrong places. If you go to such wrong gurus, the life will gets ruined actually. Instead of solving problem, that gives more problems. We can see so many people getting stuck, in so many things, So that is why. So that way you think someone is great and I want to do great things. I don't want to do normal things. So yesterday in the video the Prabhu was mentioning, there is one devotee, wanted to do great things. Everywhere we're going to book distribution. Why to distribute books just to normal people? Let me distribute book to big people like Prime Minister like that. So he wanted to go and distribute book to Prime Minister. He's having a desire to book, Security will not allow him to come to closer to Prime Minister. There are so many layers of security. How one can go close to Prime Minister, But somehow this fellow wanted to do, there was some program happened somewhere. He said, I was somewhere during Manupam time or something he was telling. So that person ran and, tried to throw almost a book towards this one. This police have arrested him and put a jail in 2 months like that. Then he said, and then His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj has to work hard to meet even Home Minister, etc., to relieve that person from the jail. So that is, you have to be very careful, Like even to meet a big people like Prime Minister is very difficult. So how can we meet Supreme Lord Krishna? Is very difficult, very, very difficult to meet. Even knowing him itself is difficult, even by scriptures, through our all the Vaishnavas, Guru, etc. Even if you know Krishna is the Supreme Lord, reaching him is very difficult. It is not. Prabhupada writes everywhere, there are 2 types of people cannot even, thinking to reach the Krishna. One is envious people, who are all envious of Krishna, cannot reach. Another is sinful people, So, are we pure? Are we pure to reach Krishna? So, very difficult. So, all the sinful people cannot reach Krishna. So, how can remove our sin? The only way to remove our sin is Shravanam. Only we have to hear from a bona fide spiritual master and Vaishnavas, authorized, channel. When you hear, things will work, Doesn't matter, he says, even though you don't understand, you should hear. Once the Prabhupada class, someone is going away from his class. Prabhupada asked, why are you going away? Prabhupada, I don't, somehow he told someone else, like, in his language, Italy or some Poland, some language. He doesn't understand English. Doesn't matter, if you don't understand, doesn't matter, but it will work, you'll sit. Like medicine is there, you don't understand what is the composition or what is the name of the medicine, you don't know, right? But still if you take medicine, it works. So that is what Prabhupada says, you sit and hear, it will work one day, So that way we have to hear. If you see, like how many, whole country, whole world, there are so many languages are there. So everybody is getting connected, attracted towards Krishna consciousness. You can see, that is how, that is because of Prabhupada's movement. Prabhupada, what he did, simply what he did is sitting in the Tompkins Square Park and chanting. What is it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Simply he started chanting. There are some devotees, they started dancing there, Prabhupada's, when he's singing, Prabhupada also mentions many times, he didn't have initial days, he didn't have in Mridanga also. Simply some kartal or something he was doing on that. So many Westerners got attracted because of the power in the mantra, So otherwise, what is there? So that is how this movement, Krishna ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, that is how it went, progress, and day by day more people are joining. So many temples coming, so many centers are coming. That is the power of this Krishna consciousness movement. So everywhere, because I have so much things I have prepared, so anyway we have less time. There is one sloka Prabhu was mentioning, this in Bhagavatam one sloka, like Kunti Devi mentions, Maya Javanika Channu Majnada Doksham Avyayam Nalakshase Modadrusa Nato Natya Dharo Yada. Being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. So here there are two things, If one is we are sinful, who cannot approach him. And apart from that, he covers himself, How can you see God? You cannot see, Even Prabhupada mentions many times, a small boy sitting in a drama, his father is acting there, he cannot recognize his father because he is in a different dress and different makeup and everything. So like that, we cannot see Krishna because of these two reasons. He covers himself with Yogamaya. Another is like we are sinful, cannot reach. So there is one more, like there if you see, there are so many things in this material world itself, so many waves are there, like different audio waves. They have different frequencies. You can hear only 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. You can only hear those things. You cannot, there are some animals, they can see ultraviolet, infrared things they can see. Like dogs can hear some noises, some voice, which we cannot hear, So different people have had different senses. So based on our limited senses, we want to see God. How can we see? We cannot see. Even within the material world itself, we cannot see so many things, We cannot see ultraviolet rays. You cannot see X-rays, If you try to see X-rays, we will damage our eyes. So it's all things, in the material world itself, we cannot see so many things. How can we see God, which is on an altogether different platform, It's very difficult. Just I want to, express, things like, this thing itself we cannot see. How can you see the God? There are so many things are there. So any time is over. So we can, we'll stop here. If anyone have any questions, any comments, so please bring to. I'll try to. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, we heard that Narad Muni can travel spiritual world, material world, in any corner of anywhere he can travel. And I'm not sure, he can probably see the Krishna also. So he might know Krishna as well, but still he's asking Brahmaji. And Brahmaji is trying to explain.
Yeah.
So how can we understand?
Yeah, this is what written Prabhupada mentioned in this purport. So Narada is like acting. Even during battlefield, Arjuna also, same thing happened. So here it is writing, Narada is one of the liberated souls. And after his liberation, he was known as Narada. Otherwise, before his liberation, he was simply son of a maid servant. The questions may be asked why Narada was not aware of the Supreme Lord and why he misconceived Brahmaji to be the Supreme Lord, although factually he was not. A liberated soul is never bewildered by such a mistaken idea. So why did Narji ask all those questions just like an ordinary man? Like you are asking this man, Prabhupada already mentioned, with a poor fund of knowledge. There was such bewilderment in Arjuna also, although he is eternally the associate of the Lord. Such bewilderment in Arjuna or in Narada takes place by the will of the Lord, so that the others, non-liberated persons, may realize the real truth by knowledge of the Lord. The doubt arising in the mind of Narada about Brahmaji becoming all-powerful is a lesson for the frogs in the well. So we are all frogs in the well. So that is why we get these type of things. So for us to take out from this well, so Narada is volunteered to ask a question so that we get answers. So that way Prabhupada is already given to us. So it is natural. So yesterday was Prabhu was also telling, if someone is, what is the indication of that one is hearing properly or not, is by asking questions, he said. He says, and also another he was mentioning, there are two type of people sits in the class. One is Srota. Srota means who is living. Second is Sota, who is sleeping. One is hearing, other one is sleeping. So two type of people sit in class. So who is Srota can ask questions. Who is Sota cannot ask questions. For him, the neighbor has to make him to become a Srota, so that he will ask a question later. So this is the answer is available already in this. So
Actually, I did not go through the proper.
It's okay. Thank you, Guru. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरे ओ हरे कृष्ण.